get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. I get to it off the runway. Different incomes, not one way. Living life on a one way. I knew this would happen someday. You can ask my day one day. Cloudy days turn to sun rays. Only way to way up way. Know my way, know my feng shui. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. Different summer, different car keys. I'm the life of the party. Might buy a bike like a Harley. Totally do so gnarly. God got me, can't harm me. I got armor and an army. Battle scars, battle smartly. Just forever like a Sharpie. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. 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 Never going. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. I get to it off the runway. Different incomes, not one way. Living life on a one way. I knew this would happen someday. You can ask my day one day. Cloudy days turn to sun rays. Only way to way up way. Know my way, know my feng shui. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. Different summer, different car keys. I'm the life of the party. Might buy a bike like a Harley. Totally do so gnarly. God got me, can't harm me. I got armor and an army. Battle scars, battle smartly. Just forever like a Sharpie. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. 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 get to it first, I got you mad. I get sad when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I get sad when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. I get to it out the runway. Different incomes, not one way. Living life on a one way. I knew this would happen someday. You can ask my day one day. Cloudy days turn to sun rays. Only way to way up way. Know my way, know my feng shui. I get to it first, I got you mad. I get sad when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I get sad when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. Different summer, different car keys. I'm the life of the party. Might buy a bike like a Harley. Totally do so gnarly. God got me, can't harm me. I got armor and an army. Battle scars, battle smartly. Just forever like a Sharpie. I get to it first, I got you mad. I get sad when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I get sad when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. 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 Never going.
Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2. 1, 2. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Chase, a.k.a. CR Media, for the third, fourth day in a row. I don't know anymore. I can't keep track. I'm on this thing every day. Want to give a shout out to my people watching the real Josh Elliott, my co-host on the I-70 Hot Tag, here as well. And I'm not even a Chiefs fan. Got to support the brand, my guy. That's right, for the brand. Confirmed you do have a microphone. I like it. I appreciate you. Appreciate you chiming in, Greg. We are here tonight to talk Kansas City Chiefs. This show was rescheduled from our usual programming on Tuesday because James and I both couldn't make it, and then tonight it was just James that couldn't make it. So James is having a little bit of technical difficulties, but he will be joining us eventually, not tonight, but in the future. But for right now, CR Media is taking the ball and running with it. So running and gunning, gentlemen, running and gunning. So for those that don't know, this is the show that was formerly known as James House Chiefs Talk that we transitioned into the Arrowhead Asylum. As my friend James likes to say, we're not crazy. We're just crazy about Chiefs Kingdom. And we're going to do a little bit of football on here. We're also going to do like a little bit of NFL all around the league. And then we're also going to be talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. CR Media is running wild this week. Crazy and wild. But glad I went ahead and got these Friday night shows out of the way because, yes, for those that don't know, for those that are watching on Facebook or any of the other shows, or the other social media outlets, I should say, that do not follow CR Media, I will tell you that we do a show just about every night a week. On Monday nights, we do the I-70 Hot Tag presents the Pit Stop. And then on Tuesday nights is when we do this show. And then on Wednesday nights, we If you like professional wrestling, we watch AEW Dynamite, and then we go live afterwards and talk about the show. My friend Mark, Pro Wrestling Kingpin, and I. And then on Thursday nights, we do the I-70 Hot Tag, where on the I-70 Hot Tag and the Pit Stop, we talk about Kansas and Missouri independent professional wrestling, because I'm a firm believer that independent wrestling in the Midwest is the best. So we like to take time and put those guys over and show that stuff. Um, so Friday nights we don't have a show, but this is a one time special, and it works out because if you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, you know that they're playing tomorrow against the Chicago Bears. So it'll be the first preseason football game, and yes, it is preseason football. I get it. It's just preseason, but you know what? I'm still excited for it. Still hyped up about it. Um, and we're going to break that down and talk about that a little bit. We're also going to be talking about some news that some news that has gone around the league and gone around Chiefs Kingdom. So as far as the game tomorrow, I do know that Andy Reid has announced that the Chiefs starters will be playing a full quarter tomorrow against Chicago. So I am extremely excited about that. Um, and Okay, that was odd. Anyways, so the Chiefs will be playing. The starters will be playing a full quarter of football. So super excited about that. Can't wait to see what happens there. It's going to be nice to see Patrick Mahomes get out there and what he's got cooking with MVS, our new tall, speedy receiver. Also going to be very exciting to see Juju Smith-Schuster. He has made a lot of noise up in training camp up in St. Joe, guys. Um, they have talked about what Juju has been doing with Patrick Mahomes all offseason. So it's going to be exciting to get some eyes on that. Get a preview of what's going to happen in September. Also going to be very excited to see the running backs. As far as Clyde Edwards-Helaire, um, Derek Gore, and then also we've got a lot of people that are talking about some training camp darlings. Um, Isaiah Pacheco. I'm probably butchering that name, but he's made a lot of noise. I actually just talked to a friend about it not too long ago, and he said Chiefs Kingdom has already deemed him the next coming of Barry Sanders, which sounds about right. So, but we're gonna, it's gonna be exciting to see what happens with that and where that goes. And um, Greg asks, who's one player to watch for on offense and one player to watch for on defense for the Chiefs? Um, well, I would say Derek Gore or Jody Forston. My co-host James is a big, huge Jody Forston fan, and you know he'll be he'll get some reps at tight end tomorrow, so that'll be very exciting to see.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What's up, buddy? I'm trying to get my. You don't mind if I join you, do you?
Not at all, sir.
I'm trying to get my camera to work.
And it was working. It was working just fine when I saw you murking bitches on Call of Duty earlier.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on right now. Um, the microphone's working on my camera, but
That's fine. That's fine.
the camera's not working.
If you want my honest opinion, James, I think I'm the better looking out of the two. So
yeah, it's probably a better show.
So yeah, guys. So Greg asked, who's one player to watch for on offense and one to watch for on defense? James, what do you think, man?
Well, I think you nailed it. I was listening to you when I was trying to get everything going in or get the video going and everything. And Jody Fortson. Jody Fortson's the guy. Isaiah Pacheco's the guy, which you did a terrific job at pronouncing that.
Thank,
Um,
thank you.
and so on offense, it's Isaiah Pacheco and Jody Fortson for me. Um, one, like you mentioned, man, I'm a big Jody Fortson fan, and I've been tooting that horn all off season. I've been wanting him ever since all last season, and unfortunately he had that injury, and it kept him out. And I thought he had made some really good progress before that, and so I've been excited since then for him to just make it back. And then Isaiah Pacheco, he's been the talk of camp. He's getting reps in there with the ones, and I'm really excited. Andy Reid said that Andy Reid or Patrick Mahomes and the ones on offense, they're going to get the first quarter. So,
I Yep. We had that was the first thing I opened up with, man, and I'm super excited about that. Like I said, we're gonna get to see we're gonna get to see a little bit of that chemistry, in real time, in game time with Patrick Mahomes and hey, King Rick Live. Appreciate you giving the follow on Twitch. Appreciate Stream Elements for keeping track of that. King Rich, King Rick, if you are watching, we are talking about the NFL and the Kansas City Chiefs tonight on the Arrowhead Asylum. This is not our usual time slot. We usually go live on Tuesday nights at 8:30, but this was a rescheduled time. But definitely come check us out on Tuesday nights.
boom.
Yep, we'll be knocking. Oh, whoa.
There we go. I figured it out. I had the camera still going on my OBS.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go.
So
I like that. I like that giant green screen.
yeah, well, it gotta be for it to like fit on my camera. It gotta be right here up my ass,
Yeah.
or else you see the sides and whatnot. But that's all right. He has IBS. No, that's not what I said.
So,
So yeah, well, you're running the show. I wasn't even planning. I mean, you did a terrific job. I wasn't even planning on being here. My brother is at the hospital right now. His old lady is having a baby, and I was gonna run up there and hang out with him and enjoy that. But the visiting hours is over.
yeah.
So I was like, let me just swoop back in here and get back on the show, where I really wanted to be to begin with.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. While while we're kind of like looking in here, I know you got a lot of more access to those Chiefs groups on Facebook. Why don't you go ahead and and anybody listening, if you're on, if you're following, if you're watching us on Twitch, I greatly appreciate that. We're trying to build this Twitch community up. So hosting, sharing would be greatly appreciated, guys. Greg, we love you too, man. Even though you are a Patrick Mahomes hater, we love you.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
isn't he a Cleveland fan? I mean,
I think so.
that explains a lot.
I think he's from Chicago, but he likes Cleveland, which I mean, I guess like, if you've got to, that's like picking if you want to, if you want to drink piss or eat shit.
Yeah, the lesser of two evils.
Oh, my bad, Greg. Greg does not dislike Patrick Mahomes. It's my other co-host, um, the guy I was watching, or the guy, Mark, Pro Wrestling Kingpin. We were on the AEW Dynamite show, and he couldn't stop running his mouth about Patrick Mahomes. I was about to kick his ass right off the show. I'm from Cleveland, but live in Chicago. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Okay.
It was like that for me for a while when I lived in Dallas, man. I used to get a lot of flack from all the Dallas fans for being a Chiefs fan, but that was back when we were winning 4 or 5 games a year. So
Yeah, I can't say shit now.
That's right. So yeah, like I said, man, if I'm gonna run up these I'm gonna run up these topics. We're gonna go over them. If you want to share this out to all those Facebook groups you're a part of, brother, I would greatly appreciate that.
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
because I had like two, and then uh I got a I got a Discord, so I put it out in the Discord that we were live tonight. Not in our usual time slot, but you know, so um, James playing Call of Duty on CR Media earlier today, man. I think that it's going to put me really close. I'm going to need three. I'm going to need at least three viewers tonight for the Arrowhead Asylum. Otherwise it'll fuck up all that hard work you put in tonight. So might have to
Yeah.
turn on the phone. But yeah, guys, if you have a Twitch, head over to CR Media or twitch.tv/CR Media 1988. Watch it. That's right. The Discord. Join the Discord as well. Greg says, I'm still amazed that you have a 17-year-old child, Chase. The math does not add up. You're right, Greg. It does not. I flunked math in school, so but no, I was 16 when she was born. I am 34 now, and she is 17. She will be 18 in February. So time sure does fly.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
So I like to keep this. I like to keep this show, lighthearted and joking and fun. But there is a situation that has happened today to a Chiefs legend. I did want to. I did want to bring it up. Let's go ahead and get it out of the way. Um, the great Lynn Dawson. The reason why when Joe Montana came to Kansas City, Joe Montana couldn't wear the number 16 was because Lenny Dawson retired the number 16 in Kansas City. So Joe Montana had to wear number 19, and so Lenny Dawson, it was announced a couple hours ago, has been moved to hospice. And those that don't know, when somebody gets moved to hospice, that usually tends that they're on their way out of this world and they're on their way to the next. Lynn Dawson Lynn Dawson is my childhood, man. KNBC 9 News with Lynn Dawson every night. You know, obviously I didn't live through the 60s and the 70s to see him play football. But as an avid Chiefs fan, we know what he's done for Kansas City. We know what he's put into the Chiefs team, and how much he means to this community. Definitely, I don't like to jump the gun, so to speak, and say those things. But like I said, usually when somebody goes on hospice, it means they're on their way to the other side. And if that's the case, then we wish Lynn Dawson and his family the best, and thank him for everything he's done for Kansas City, as a football player, as an anchor in the community, as an anchor on the news, all that stuff. So cannot say enough great things about Lynn Dawson.
Yeah.
So
Overall, just legendary. I mean,
yep,
if you're any sort of Chiefs fan whatsoever, you know who Lynn Dawson is. You,
absolutely.
and like you said, I wasn't there either. I wasn't able to see him play live in action. I've seen film. I've seen replays and reruns of old games, and I've watched them over and over and over again. And what he did for Kansas City, not only on the field, but off the field and in the community, is just absolutely legendary status. And so it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to catch the news. My mom, she sent me a message earlier, letting me know about it. Sent me an article about it from like KNBC 9 or something like that. And it's heartbreaking. He's a legend in within Chiefs Kingdom, and my prayers are with him and his family for sure.
Absolutely. Um, so, like I said, wanted to get that stuff out of the way. You know, we've uh, we've got a preseason game to look at, and a couple other newsworthy stories to talk about as well. Um, Greg, greatly appreciate you hosting on Twitch. Um, we are right there, three viewers on Twitch, guys. So all that hard work that James did, murking bitches on Call of Duty earlier, is not going to go it's not going to go unnoticed. um, So, also wanted to talk about Hy-Vee partnering with Travis Kelsey to launch Kelsey's Crunch cereal. Breakfast of Champions, obviously, because Kelsey's the best and he is a champion. When friends host your channel, it greatly improves your chances of appearing in the recommended channels area. I did not know that, Greg. I appreciate it. Again, much love, dude. Um, uh, Yeah, man. Travis Kelsey getting his own cereal before Patrick Mahomes. Uh, it's kind of weird, but I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, both are great legends in the in the Kansas City area. So, um,
Yeah. I mean, look, I think this is Kelsey kind of taking a page from Mahomes' playbook. Um, Look, Mahomes is so not worried about the money and contract issues and stuff because he's making so much money outside of his contract. And this is Kelsey kind of doing the same thing. Um, he's going to be willing to play for less money in Kansas City because he's setting himself up to make more money outside of football. And that's great. That's great news for the fans because we all want to see Kelsey here in Kansas City for the rest of his career. And from what he said, he wants to be here for the rest of his career. And his actions are now starting to look more and more like that is exactly true.
yes. I mean, Mahomes has, um, he lives in Belton. Well, Loch Lloyd, but the L- Loch Lloyd is in Belton. Rather, obviously, nobody living in Loch Lloyd will probably ever see this. But for all you people that do live in Loch Lloyd, newsflash: you live in Belton, Missouri. So
Yeah.
that's just all there is to it.
Yeah. The
You
village,
could,
the village
yeah,
of Loch Lloyd it's
yeah.
Belton.
It's in Belton. You can. The only hope you have is to petition with the state of Missouri to get you put in Johnson County, Kansas, and that's your only hope. Other than that, you are in Belton, Missouri, and that's take that for what you want. It is what it is.
Yup.
um, but so Patrick Mahomes lives in Belton in the villages of Loch Lloyd. His wife is a part owner of the women's soccer team here in Kansas City. Um, he has part ownership in the Royals. I think they have some ownership stake in Sporting KC as well, don't they? Or no?
Yeah, they do.
But so Mahomes is very vested in Kansas City. So you're right, taking a page out of Mahomes' book where he's like, don't have to look at hundreds of millions of dollars on a contract. You can go, you know, make a cereal or make a drink or get a drink named after you.
Yeah.
Any way to get a royalty check to make sure that you stay in, Kansas City. I'm okay with. You went dark all of a sudden, buddy.
I apologize.
You fixing that light?
I'm trying. I got stuff popping up on my monitor here. Is that
Oh,
better?
gotcha. Is that you or me? Okay. So the Chiefs made some signings this week. The Chiefs signed Danny Shelton, who's a defensive tackle. Um, and then they, like I said, they also signed a couple other defensive linemen. Um, which I wanted to ask James, but I'll wait till he gets back. But kind of watching, there's been a lot of criticism of the pass rush in Kansas City, and rightfully so, because the pass rush in Kansas City has been virtually, it just hasn't been there. So you look at guys like Frank Clark, who's getting paid a bunch of money, and now I know the Chiefs are super excited that Frank Clark, has committed to not drinking anymore. Or, he's supposedly in phenomenal shape. He stopped drinking. Um, you know, he went on record for saying, hey, I'm ready to grow up now, which is awesome at 26 or 27 years old, however old he is. Um, which is cool. And I think with him slimming down a little bit, stop drinking, I I expect to have a good season out of him. And I think the Chiefs do believe in Frank Clark, but making these moves to sign interior or defensive ends and a couple of interior linemen, it makes me wonder if they're building depth or if they're getting ready for the possibility that Frank Clark does not work out. So uh, I will. We'll talk to James about that when he gets back. His brother is having a baby tonight, so his brother, who I used to give atomic wedgies to, and uh, Brock Lesnar F5 up against the wall. He's having a baby tonight, so that's super exciting for him. I think it's like his fifth or sixth kid or something like that. So Corey is building a legacy. Be aware that the chat is 30 seconds delayed from the time I send it to the time it appears on your screen. Oh, okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. I like it. And then other news, the Chiefs released cornerback DeAndre Baker, which was, not a huge surprise, but, were you surprised by the release of DeAndre Baker, James?
I was. I was a little bit, I was excited when they picked him up. He was a former first round pick drafted by the Giants. And I just thought that this was going to be, the thing about it is Brett Veach has kind of always found these diamonds in the rough, these picks that didn't work out someplace else, but then they bring him here and then it works out. And that's what I thought it was going to be. So when they cut him, I don't know why he did that.
Okay. So when they cut him, was it shocking to you?
Yeah, it was just kind of a little bit of a shock. Yeah, for sure. Not that he did anything special to warrant that shock, because I don't think he really did. But I was just surprised that he didn't do more than what he did. Not even to be a backup or just straight out cut. I thought it was really really disappointing. Really, I mean, honestly.
Yeah. Now, before I brought up DeAndre Parker, I notified everybody in the chat that you got a brother having a baby tonight, and probably had to take a phone call for that.
Yeah.
So if James dips out, it's probably because he's waiting on his new niece or nephew. What's Corey having? Niece or
He's
nephew?
having a boy. It's my new
It's his
nephew.
first boy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
There
his
you go.
first boy, and so like me, I have 4 girls and then I have one boy, right?
Yep,
So I
Jimmy.
know, yeah, exactly. And so I know that when I had when I had my boy, man, I was super, super excited, and I can only imagine that he's probably the same. He's got two girls, and now this is his first boy, and now he gets somebody to kind of carry on that name, that legacy,
Yep.
and it's
Now,
exciting.
yeah, now he's got somebody he can give atomic wedgies to and throw him up against the wall.
Yeah, yeah. Well, see, now we're gonna have to. Now I'm gonna have to teach Jimmy how to give it to his cousin.
The sneaky eye poke.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And let those traditions be passed on down.
uh, so while you took that phone call, I was talking about the Chiefs signing a plethora of defensive linemen. We saw Carlos Dunlap get signed,
Uh-huh.
Dante Stallworth. Uh, why does that not sound? Why does that not sound right? I don't think that was right. Was it?
No, I don't think that was right either, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like I seen that we signed like two or three other guys other than Carlos Dunlap. And I mean
Danny Shelton. Danny
yeah,
Shelton. I'm sorry.
that's who
Yeah,
it
not
is.
Dante. Yeah, Danny Shelton, Carlos Dunlap. Some veterans at the on the defensive line, and I was asking, does it make sense, or would you guess are these moves putting pressure on Frank Clark, or do you think that Frank Clark is safe in his position and these are just depth moves?
I think I don't know, man. I think that they're really optimistic about Frank Clark. He came in and he's lighter and he's sober and um, he they're excited about it, and I think everyone in the on the team, including his teammates, Chris Jones in particular, is excited to see about Frank Clark. But given the production that he's given us during his time here, I think they have no choice but to have at least a contingency plan. And so I think that is a lot of what we're starting to see now is they've built up a rotation of guys that can, maybe cover up that deficit if that's what it ends up being again is a deficit from that position.
Absolutely. So, one of the things that I did want to mention is, as Chiefs Kingdom has been very, very critical and very, very, put the pressure on Frank Clark, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't see the team feeling the same way that we in Chiefs Kingdom feel. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
I
no, I
think
would
I think
100% agree.
like you said, I think Veach and Reed and the team are all very, very happy that Frank Clark has decided to sober up, has decided to cut weight, and are very happy with that. So I don't think Frank Clark is on the hot seat. I don't think these moves. I think these are depth moves. I don't think these moves are number one. Our best option on the other side of the line from Frank Clark is a
Yeah.
rookie,
Yeah.
Karlaftis.
Yeah, and
And
there's a lot
if
of question marks there.
exactly. So one of the big questions, obviously he's a rookie, so that's one of the big question marks. The other thing is going to be, is he going to, is he going to transition to the pro style very well? Can he stay healthy? I think he had a little bit of an injury bug in college. I could be wrong in that. So I think these depth moves are just in case, Kalarfis isn't ready to go day one in the season, and we can rotate. And it's good to have depth, but it's just one of the things that I looked at, and a lot of members of Chiefs Kingdom have looked at, is these depth moves were veteran players. You know, they weren't just they weren't
Yeah.
just guys to bring in depth. These guys cost a little bit of money. They got
Yeah.
veteran minimum contracts, and so
Yeah.
it is
Proven
going to be.
guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they rotate those guys in and out. But like I said, I wanted to pick as soon as I brought it up. You dipped out, and I wanted to pick your brain on it. So
Yeah.
um, I did want to give a shout out, guys. Or kind of pause. If you guys have watched CR Media, you guys know that I'm pushing the Twitch really hard. Uh, we did hit 100 followers just now. King Rick, when he came in and hit that follow button, which I
Ding,
greatly
ding,
appreciate.
ding. 100th
Yep,
follower.
yep. We will start getting notifications on Twitch. Start going soon, so definitely stay on the lookout for that. But I wanted to give a shout out to King Rick. He is the 100th follower, so that is pretty badass. Um, Preseason game against the Chicago Bears, man. What are you excited to see the most?
Man, football. I'm just ready to see some football. Uh, Preseason or not, look, I know it's not so exciting because it's just preseason and yada 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 yada, whatever. Man, I don't give a rat's butt cheek about any of that. I'm just ready to see some football. And to be more excited, man, or to be more specific, I'm excited to see these wide receivers. I want to see what we got. I mean, and I think that's one of the biggest question marks since the Tyreek Hill trade. We signed MVS, we signed Juju Smith-Schuster, we went and got Sky Moore in the draft. McCole Hardman, we don't know what we really have in him. Um, with Tyreek Hill gone, McCole says he's going to show up now. And so I want to see it. you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I'm excited to see this wide receiver group, and then I want to see Isaiah Pacheco in action. I've heard so much talk about it. He's so aggressive. He's a hard runner. He's so decisive, and this and that and whatever. Anything you could good about a running back that you could say, we've probably heard it about Isaiah Pacheco, and
Yeah.
I want to see it with my own eyes now.
Yeah, I told everybody, I told the viewers right at the beginning of the show that I was talking to a friend right before starting the show, and we were talking about Pacheco, and he had mentioned, he was like, well, the way other Chiefs fans keep talking about him, they're talking about the second coming of Barry Sanders, of course, overhyping it. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know about all that, but
yeah, I don't think so either. But it just kind of tells you like how excited, you know, and as a Chiefs fan, with training camp being right there in St. Joe, it's always easy for Chiefs fans to kind of jump in and be like, hey, I really like so and so. We always got those guys in preseason and in training camp that we kind of
yeah,
attach to.
those
You know,
darlings.
yeah, those
Yeah.
those preseason and training camp darlings that we kind of just we gravitate to. So it's very interesting to see how those will hold up. Dave Tobe did announce that Isaiah Pacheco will be returning kicks. That's
Yes, sir.
so
Yes,
you're
sir.
gonna see him in some way, shape, or form. The other thing that'll be exciting to see is the different formations. We all know that Andy Reid loves to throw those schoolyard plays into from the
Oh
playbook.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think we're going to see a little bit of that in preseason. It was really cool. We saw Sky Moore line up in the backfield at training camp, so
Yeah.
that'll be interesting to see if we get some Sky Moore in the backfield.
Uh-huh.
All the different routes they'll run, and
Yeah, I think Debo Samuel changed the game last year.
I Yep.
running from that running back position and then doing the whole wide receiver thing and I think he really and we see that this is a copycat league. The NFL is a copycat league. And we see it
Yep.
year after year after year. And for several years now, we've seen people try to run these inside shovel passes that Kansas City runs to like Travis Kelce or maybe Blake Bell or McCole Hardman or somebody in motion. We see other teams trying to run those plays too. And so I expect to see Sky Moore utilized in the same fashion that Debo Samuel was utilized in San Francisco.
Absolutely. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about as well is the position battles for the Chicago Bears game. Just to kind of get into like what we're looking at since we started training camp and mini camp and all that, and now we're getting into preseason. Um, you know, with all the stuff going on with Orlando Brown Jr., it's going to be very interesting to see how the backup tackle position goes. It's going to be a position to watch most definitely.
Uh-huh.
Andrew Wiley has secured the right tackle spot, at least for right now. But all those other guys, you're looking at Jerron Christian, who was brought in, uh, Roderick Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
um, who
Darian
is who.
Kennard.
Yep, and it's interesting because Roderick Johnson has taken the first team snaps in Orlando Brown's absence in training camp. So,
Uh-huh.
like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see the tackle lineup and all those position battles here in preseason. Um, Obviously, if Orlando Brown Jr. plays, he's gonna get the starting left tackle job as he should. But like I said, it's very very interesting. Pete Sweeney, who works for Sports Illustrated, um, had had made a point to post on Twitter yesterday and said that Prince Tega, help me out with that.
Winagu?
Uh,
When not, I know who you're talking about, but it's
yeah.
Winagu, I think.
Well, I figured if I served it up, I had confidence that if I served it up for you,
Yeah,
you would pronounce it way better than I do. But
yeah.
yes, uh, Prince Tega, is working at right team in with the second team or right tackle with the second team, and Pete Sweeney says he's a sneaky dark horse candidate to watch.
Yeah.
You know, because he's real rough in the on the outside. I don't think he has the build. I don't think he has the hips to work in the inside, but he is a bully on the outside. So I agree. I think he's a great option to watch for them. So
For sure,
um,
100%.
the secondary. The secondary is going to be very interesting to see. Like I said, they cut DeAndre Baker, who didn't work out. So we're the Chiefs. This I thought this was interesting. The Chiefs have historically kept 10 defensive backs on the active roster, um, and only 3 from last year are locks to make the team this year. So you've got Juan Thornhill, um, L'Jarius Sneed, and Rashad Fenton, and that's it. The rest, it's open. I mean, obviously, the first round draft pick.
Yeah.
Um, you know, uh, Obviously, he's going to make the team.
Yeah.
There's Trent McDuffie is not going anywhere. But as far as Brian Cook and Joshua Williams, we don't know if they wind up going to the practice squad or if they stay on the team. Um, you know, the majority of training camp, they took snaps with Williams. Joshua Williams took snaps with the first team in Rashad Fenton's absence.
Uh-huh.
So that's going to be interesting. Without Daniel Sorensen and without Tyrann Mathieu, Juan Thornhill now becomes a leader in that backfield.
Yep.
Because, the kid that we Justin Reed, I don't think Reed steps up and becomes the leader back there. I think
He's still trying to learn.
Yeah. What is up, Mark? How are you, sir? Appreciate my friend Mark, Pro Wrestling Kingpin, my co-host on the AEW Dynamite Post Show, coming in. The first time, see, it's different, Mark. The first time, actually, I take that back. I might leave you in here because you're on Twitch and you're adding to my viewership on Twitch. But the first time you talk trash on Patrick Mahomes tonight, I'm kicking your ass out. I'm booting your ass out. He tried to. I know you're not real big into wrestling, but we're trying to talk AEW Dynamite, and this guy, Travis Kelce gets brought up, and then he's like, "That's the only good guy, or that's the only good player on your team," and I was like, I go, "Listen, motherfucker, I will shut this shit down right now."
Oh, that's good.
I told him he's upset because the Bears passed on Mahomes for
Mitchell Trubisky,
the guy that doesn't even play for that team anymore. Anyways,
oh man,
Harold Kuntz. God, I hope is it Harold Kuntz or is it Harold Kuntz?
It's probably Kuntz.
Probably is. But I'm calling him Kuntz anyways. He posted about Jalen Watson, I'm sorry, getting some reps with the first team, and how it was he got the privilege to cover MVS on a deep route. So that's very interesting. Carl Karlaftis is going to play tomorrow. So that'll be interesting to see, and that is the other position battles you got to look at. Linebackers and defensive lines. The starting linebackers look like Nick Bolton, Willie Gay Jr., and Elijah Lee. Elijah Lee supposedly has had a great camp, so he's gonna get the he'll probably get the start. I'm a little skeptical. It looks like Leo Chanel is the number 4 linebacker, and if that's the case, I don't know about that. As we've talked about all off season since the draft, dude, that Leo Chanel should be is going to be somebody to watch. I mean, I still get goosebumps.
Physicality and violence.
Yeah, I still get goosebumps when I think about that. For Chiefs fans, go back and watch the press conference after the draft where they're introducing the draft picks to the fans, and a reporter says, "What can we expect from Leo Chanel?" And he says, "Physicality and violence. That's what you can expect from me." And like I said, I still get goosebumps because it's like, man, I can't wait. I want to see Leo punch somebody in the mouth. And so him over Elijah Lee over him, I don't agree with it. We're going to see how it works out. But like I said, I could see Leo Chanel being right there with Willie Gay and Nick Bolton by week 3. I could definitely see that. It was a fantastic promo. I'm not even acknowledging Mark's other comment. The fuck out of here.
Hey, haters gonna hate, man. I mean, you can say what you want. Look, it's either Mahomes is overrated and Andy Reid is the greatest coach of all time,
which he's not,
or Mahomes is a good quarterback.
A great quarterback.
I mean, he's an elite quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, because you can't argue with the results. Like, if he's just a product of the system, they still went to 4 AFC Championship games in a row. They still
Yep.
won 2 of them. They still won a Super Bowl. They still went to 2 Super Bowls. They still did it. So it's either one or the other. It's either Andy Reid he's a product of the it's either Mahomes is a product of the system and Andy Reid's the greatest coach of all time, or
He's not. Andy Reid is not the greatest coach of all time.
Mahomes is elite.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And I love Big Red. Big Red has grown on me. Those that don't, or those that have watched this show, or James House Chiefs Talk, for the longest time, I have openly admitted on James House Chiefs Talk that when Reed was announced as the head coach, I was like, Jesus, are you kidding me? That guy, and Reed has proved me wrong. He's a good coach, but yeah. What has happened out there with Mahomes is Mahomes magic. It's not Reed. It's not Reed. I always hated it when people called Reed a QB whisperer. Like, are you kidding me? Like Kevin Cobb and Donovan McNabb. Come on, guys. Come on. Really? Who was the other guy? It was Kevin Cobb and somebody else, some other loser. It wasn't Foles, because I think Foles had his time there after.
Well, he had Michael Vick out there for a little bit.
That's right. You're right. Yep. So, yeah, he had Michael Vick, who in turn could have had he not went to prison. Michael Vick could have been one of the greatest quarterbacks of all, or one of the greatest quarterbacks in that generation.
Yeah.
Anyways, so like I said, Leo Chanel, coming up, Jeff Garcia. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's an Andy Reid. That's one of the Andy Reid systematic quarterbacks that they talk about. When they talk about Reid being a QB whisperer. And like I said, no hate on Big Red. Andy Reid brought a Super Bowl to Kansas City with the help, a huge help, from Patrick Mahomes. I mean, so I mean, no hate on Andy Reid. It's just, like I said, Andy Reid is not. I hear that all the time. Of, well, not, and I know Mark said he was joking, so this is not no dig at Mark, but there are a lot of guys that are like, well, Mahomes is a project of a system, or or Mahomes wouldn't be Mahomes, stick Mahomes on a different team. And yeah, you're right. Maybe Mahomes isn't as successful as he has been on the Chiefs on a different team. Of course, I mean, the everybody makes those arguments. Like, let's talk about Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is a phenomenal quarterback. It's not his fault that he got stuck with an organization that sucks. We talk about that all the time on this show. Organizations that are just no matter what happens, they suck. And the Lions, of course, are one of those organizations. And Matthew Stafford is still a fantastic quarterback. And he proved it when he left. He went to a team and won. So, all jokes aside, I just want the Browns to have one real QB who is eligible to play this season.
I hear that they might trade for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. Yeah, man. No hate towards Greg. I think that the Browns are on that list as well. Of organizations.
They're definitely on that list.
Yeah. I mean, there's just organizations, like we've said 100 times, there's organizations in the NFL that no matter what you do, you can change the coach, you can change everything, from the owner to the GM to the president, the head coach, the quarterback, everything, and still they would be a laughing stock. And not like, and it sucks because, you've got hardcore fans. One of my good friends, Brent Gregory's a Lions fan. Josh is a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. Greg is a Cleveland Browns fan. Like it sucks for the fan base. Imagine living in the city and then being like every single time Sunday comes, like the whole city's super excited for football. Have you seen a Cleveland game? They still try and pack that stadium out, and the dog pound is there, and it's like that's all you got for these people. Like it's crazy, but
Uh-huh.
you know so yeah, if Mahomes went to Browns, yeah, that would be an issue. I don't think Mahomes would have two MVPs, or I don't think he would have a season MVP and a Super Bowl MVP. I don't think he'd have a Super Bowl ring. So yes, Mahomes has benefited from the system, but I don't think that I don't think Mahomes is completely. I don't think he's talentless if he goes somewhere else. You know.
Showing up.
Sorry, got on that little side rant because when you're a Chiefs fan, that's a main noise you hear, especially like when they're posting stuff online and you read articles and you read the comments, and there's always those fans that are like, Mahomes is overrated. Take away all those weapons and Mahomes ain't shit. Okay, I mean that's your prerogative if you think that. Coming from the same people that are riding Deshaun Watson or riding Derek Carr,
Yeah.
telling
Yeah.
telling me that Mahomes is overrated. Um. So speaking of I was going to say overrated, but I was just trying to find a way to segue back into our linebacker position here. Darius Harris looks to be the backup Mike linebacker. He's going into his fourth year, but has not been able to beat out Dorian O'Daniel or Ben Neiman. So expect Darius Harris to stay where the fuck he's at. Because if you can't beat out Ben Neiman, I'm not even sure you should be on this team.
Let's just pray. Let's just pray right now. There's no injuries. And we don't have to dig deep into the depth when it comes to linebacker, because outside of Willie Gay and Nick Bolton, Elijah Lee, Leo Chenal, there's not much.
There's not.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, there's not much there.
Yep. Jermaine Carter was brought in from Carolina after starting every game for them last season to make a push for playing time, but he's been quiet this whole offseason. So, gonna be a little weird. Greg said, yeah, they've already given up 3 first-round picks for Watson. Might as well trade 3 second-round picks for Jimmy G. Then Jimmy G will get injured in week 1, and the Browns will be without a QB and without the next 3 years first and second round picks.
Chase, I'm gonna have to jump off of here.
You're good, brother. Go ahead.
Chat. I'll catch you guys later. Huh?
Yeah. You out for the night, sir?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be out of here for the night. I just wanted to stop back by. I appreciate you, Chase. I really do appreciate you holding down the fort, while I'm handling my business. But I had the opportunity to come in here, hang out with you for a little bit, and hang out with the chat for a little bit. And I definitely wanted to stop by. So I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun, my man.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. We appreciate you jumping in and surprising us. And we got a show planned for Tuesday. And absolutely. We'll see you Tuesday then, sir.
All right. Peace. Peace out, guys. Stay legendary, y'all.
Adios, muchachos. So, and then the linebacker position is that last position battle that you're going to see. I will tell you that, like I said, the most exciting one for me is going to be that linebacker spot. I'm very curious to see what they do with the defensive ends. With the two signings that they've done and Frank Clark. Score predictions for a preseason game, not going to happen. It doesn't really matter. Chiefs win, Chiefs lose. The main point of watching this game tomorrow is just to see what these rookies look like, and just kind of see these positions, flushing in and out. The only other thing I had, since we're not playing games this week, usually we play a game called Guess the Chiefs player. That game was put on hold because obviously I pick the player and I have James guess. It really wouldn't make much sense for me to guess my own player. So, um, uh, as far as news around the NFL goes, guys, um, we kind of talked about it a little bit, with the Browns, and what they got going on with Deshaun Watson and everything like that. It's it's a it's definitely a little, a little crazy, the situation they got going on in Cleveland. But if you'd have asked me 7-8 months ago, I would have told you that Deshaun Watson would never play another down in the NFL. Um, if you'd asked me 3 months ago, 2 months ago, I'd have said Deshaun Watson wouldn't have played another down in the NFL. But you know, I don't know. It looks like there's a possibility that it may be happening. I don't know. Um, Other position battles you're going to look for in that game tomorrow against the Chicago Bears, the wide receivers. Um, it's going to be very interesting. Like I said, Reed likes to throw. Reed likes to throw in those backyard, play yard plays. That the Chiefs do, the end routes, the wildcat plays. All those different little schoolyard plays that Reed does. So it's going to be very interesting to see Sky Moore, involved in those. Uh, Juju Smith-Schuster, MVS, all the offense just running all the different things that all the different plays. Um, Travis Kelce, whether he's going to line up as tight end or he's going to line up on the outside. Jody Fordston, the running back position. What's going to happen with that? Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Derek Gore, all those guys. So James and I will be going to the Chiefs and Packers game. We've kind of talked about doing a little bit of this at the Chiefs and Packers preseason game. Maybe doing a pre-show or a post-show, something like that. But it's definitely gonna be a lot of fun. I am super excited, guys. I have stated multiple times that I am a humongous football fan. I love football almost as much as I love wrestling. I watch college football. I watch high school football. My local high school that I graduated from. I take my boys to the high school games on Friday nights, the home games. So it's a very exciting time for me. So I am super excited to get this show started back going, and getting it going through the season, and talking football. So guys, we are at an hour and 20 minutes, and I think we did like a 15-minute, or maybe even it was about 15 minutes we did the intro. to kind of give me an opportunity to get prepared and get this whole thing worked out. So not a super long show tonight. Obviously, there hasn't been a whole lot, that's gone on in the past week that we haven't been able to kind of, you know, go on about. I did want to, kind of just say, hey, 5 players to watch in the game tomorrow against the Chicago Bears. And that's going to be defensive end Mike Dana. Um, you know, he's going to be coming in, probably going to get that starting defensive end position over George Kalafis. Um, he had 5.5 sacks last year, 16 quarterback hits. So it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see him get that start and if he stays in that position. So that's going to be very interesting as well. Wide receiver Justin Watson, who's been a huge talk about throughout camp. Watching him in the preseason game tomorrow. Obviously, Dave Tobe is also going to use him in the special teams. Defensive back Chris Lamons. He was another high round draft pick that was kind of dropped out by his team that we picked up, and so watching him is going to be he's going to be a player to watch. Offensive line, Jerron Christian. We talked about him earlier. Definitely keep an eye on him. He is an interior. He's an interior lineman, but the Chiefs have put him on the outside at tackle. So whether he gets the backup to Andrew Wiley or Orlando Brown Jr., definitely keep an eye out for him. And then QB quarterback, Shane Busheli. I probably butchered that name, but he watching him, kind of, it looks like he's gonna take over that backup position. It doesn't look like there's gonna be a Chad Henne or a Matt Moore for Andy Reid to rely on this year. So if God forbid something happens to Patrick Mahomes, they need to have Shane ready. So those are my players to watch tomorrow, guys. For everybody that came and showed support tonight, hey, I appreciate you guys like crazy. We like I said, we do these shows on Tuesdays. This was a quick audible to throw this show on a Friday. I'm a firm believer that consistency is key. So we will be live on Tuesday night. I will be live on Tuesday night. James, if James has anything going on and James is not able to make it, then I will be doing the same thing I'm doing right now. So we will be live every Tuesday to talk the Kansas City Chiefs, and we're going to sprinkle in a little bit of NFL in there. So just talk about some stories around the league and get you ready for football season. Also, we'll be playing some game. Guess the Chiefs player. We're also going to be talking a little bit of fantasy football. Like I said, news around the league and keeping up with everything Kansas City Chiefs. So, guys, for my co-host, my friend James Howell, and for me, Chase, CR Media. Good fight. And good night. I don't know, man. That doesn't sound right.